Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1957 to 1958 Tower President. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And above that are the margins. And I'm just going to set this left margin around 2 or 3. Just want to make sure it's in between this paper finger or else you'll get stuck on it. And the same concept with this, I'm going to put it around 71 and test those. You can also adjust these paper fingers. Once you put the page in, you can set those. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bell that sits on top. It's got 3 adjustable rollers. So it's got a paper bell with 3 rollers and the paper fingers and support arm. It's got all the bells and whistles. That's when you know you're dealing with a luxury typewriter from Smith Corona. Manufactured by Smith Corona, but it's a different brand. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch back 1, it skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line to switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side there. Just flip it all the way down to that red dot. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. And when you have it on top, it just prints the top portion, which is black. I'll put that down to red. Beautiful typing machine. I really like this even more so than the Smith Coronas. It just has that really luxury feel to it. Really well designed. It's got all metal, no plastic on it at all besides the keys. And it's got like all the insulator in it, so it's really quiet. Really just, I would consider it like as luxury as it gets when it comes to Smith Corona. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. Just flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before we load the next page or else it won't load correctly. We're going to put this paper support arm down. And another fun fact, when I was researching this, it went for about $100 back when it first came out in 1957, $110 I believe, which would be over $1,000 today in today's price range. So that just gives you an idea on how much these went for back then. Shift on each side and shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again, backspace above that, looks good. Tab on the right side. And now we got a tab set in the middle, so I'm gonna hit that CL button to clear it. This goes all the way to the end, so I'm gonna set one in the middle so that way the next time it gets hit, it doesn't go all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. You can set as many tabs as you want on this model. I'm gonna flip that switch back up so we're printing black ink next time we type. MR below the tab is margin release, so you get to the end of the margin, it will block you from typing. Unless you hit that MR button, it'll allow you to go all the way to the end or until you get stuck on that paper finger. I'm going to open the hood, all the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. And if you want to switch the direction, there's a switch above the backspace here. You flip that up and it'll pull to the left. You flip it down, pulls to the right. That works good. Touch control above that from low to high. The higher you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. The lower you go, you don't have to hit them as hard for them to print. That's where I like to keep it. And we got the carriage release on each side. This has a better designed carriage release than the later models that have that plastic carriage release that break all the time. And this is the carriage lock, so you lift it up and lock it in the middle so when it's in its case it doesn't cause damage to your escapement and your knobs. Carriage release on the left. We're going to go ahead and clear that. Very smooth. Everything on this is very smooth. And if you pull this knob out on the knob, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. And the same concept with this inner lever, you push that down and it'll disable the space. So you push it up, you get the clicks. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy, search Brooksaw Antiques.